Hey, welcome back to Evil's Comics. I'm Evil Mike, and I have another review for you. This is Scout Comics, Locust #1. This is a second printing. I'm kind of late on this book. I think already #2 is out, and #3 should be on its way. Um, Written by Massimo Rosi and artist by Alex Nieto, lettering by Mattia. Gentili. I'm sorry if I mispronounced any of those names. A really good first read, and a beefy first read, I might add. I thought it was going to be a quick one, but it was actually quite a story, but nonetheless a good one. It's a post-apocalyptic, future story where, something has happened to the earth. Honestly, this might not be for everybody because it was really close to home. The premise behind the book is a virus has spread across the earth, slowly started, in other continents, and it eventually made it to America, starting in New York and Dallas and Los Angeles and Vegas. But a different type of virus, but kind of starts out the same, very much like what we went through recently in 2020. And I can see why this might have come a bit. I'm pretty sure it probably got pushed back a couple times. I know issue 2 did. But we're starting out. I think the main character is Max, and it is just his ongoing journey. They do show in the very beginning of the book him with this child, and then they kind of go into in the past. They do show a scene real quick where he's dreaming, and they show these 2 panels of his nightmares, and of course the book is called Locust, and that kind of ties into the virus, but we'll get there. That's why I didn't mass explain what it is, but they kind of go They continue with the present, and then they'll get into the past, but it's just basically him by himself, and he's trekking through a city. They show him doing some personal first aid. They do show him, it looks like he is looking for something, and we do see that he is hunting these 2 wolves. He kills both. But he does kind of lure them to him because he could have skipped around. We do see that somebody was watching, and of course it's probably the owner of the wolf, because he has a wolf with him, and he's watching from a building top, close by. Then they jump to 2 years ago off the coast of New York, and Max was working on maybe a fisherman boat or something like that, and he's coming back to New York from wherever he was. It's kind of like this sum up of why these different people like New York, and their views of New York, and what it is to live in New York. And then it goes into Max, how he just wants to how he's been saving up for a house, and he wants to move out into the mountains and get some fresh air, kind of thing. Then they go back to the present situation, and they kind of reveal what was going on with the with Max and him hunting this, and basically that's what he was doing. He was trying to lure out this guy, and if you notice in the beginning, and I kind of didn't the first time, but they kind of highlight these 2 these vats with green chemical, and they come into play with this trap because some words are spoken, and basically the guy tries to ambush Max with his wolves. Max has already had this alleyway set up, and of course, when things, he asked the man a question about a child, and when the guy doesn't answer back, he kind of springs the trap and springs acid on this guy, melting his face. He ends up killing the wolves that are with him, and kind of hacks the wolves into other pieces in front of the guy. They kind of show him getting ready for interrogation. Then they jump back to the 2 years, and they show Max, it looks like, with his mother, and it's kind of maybe at the beginning stages of the virus and stuff, and we're at a hospital or a hospice, something like that, and he's with his mom, and all the chaos is breaking out, and we do show that one of his neighborhood friends is holding another neighborhood friend at gunpoint, and we see that he's about to kill him, and Max runs up and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And as he runs up, he sees that the guy that he's trying to put down is not so normal looking, that he is changing in front of their eyes. At first, he just looks, they show him right here, and he just looks kind of burnt up from the explosion. His friend reveals that the other friend that is changing was the one who caused the explosion. He did it on purpose, and it killed. He said he lost count of how many people that it took out in the explosion, but he did it on purpose. And they can show you that he's been changing, and as they show you right here, he goes full on Locust, and basically everybody, scared and disturbed, kind of just unloads into this Locust thing that has been changing and taking shape in front of him. They kind of do a flashback of when they were childhood friends, like in a photo right here, which is kind of effed up. They go back to Max and his mom, and them trying to leave the city, because now the virus and what it does has come really close to home. So Max is really trying to get the heck out of there. They go back into the present situation with Max and this crazy church going fella, because he tells Max that the man he needs to worry about is some kind of man that holds a Sunday church group, and that's why the kid has been abducted, and it's just not one kid, it's several. So it looks like Max does give this guy some peace, because he has been slowly melting in front of Max because of the acid, and that's where this issue cuts off. But nonetheless, it was a very good read. The past and present storyline were both good reads. The whole conversations about what they liked about New York was really good. Like the 24-hour references and the different types of humanity that are there. A really grounded story, and for a not straight out horror book, but with a horror theme, one that has a scarier premise. We're going round two on what's going around, right? But that's my review. Like, comment, share. Have you read this comic? It's been out for a while, so let me know what you've been thinking about it. I will be looking for number 2. All right, guys. I'll see y'all later.